Tears are a language. Tears express desires and touch hearts in a way words cannot. What we may not obtain through ordinary means may often be obtained through tears. There is something deeply moving about tears. When we see someone weeping, it can have quite an effect on us. We are usually more affected at the sight of a grown-up weeping more so than a child. And when that adult is a strong, emotionally stable person, with the tears running down his or her face, we can't help but be moved. I remember hearing a story about an African American woman who had spent some 70 years as a servant to a charming young Southern woman. Now her mistress died, and in an effort to comfort this old maid, a neighbor said, "I am so sorry to hear about Lucy's death. You must miss her greatly. I know you are dear, dear friends." "Yes, ma'am," said the servant. "I am sorry she died, but we were not friends." "Not friends?" said the lady. "You must have been friends. I have seen you laughing and talking together lots of times." "Yes, ma'am, that is so," came the reply. "We had laughed together and we had talked together, but we were just acquaintances. You see, Miss Ruth, we have never shed tears together. People have to cry together before they are friends." In the Bible, there are 3 occasions when our Lord wept. Tears allow us to see what really matters to a person. It is no different with Jesus. The Gospel of John, chapter 11, verse 35, we see the first instance of our Lord's tears. His close friend Lazarus has just died, and Jesus has gone to see Lazarus' sisters. When Jesus saw Mary weeping, he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled. "Where have you laid him?" he asked. "Come and see, Lord," they replied. Jesus wept. Then the Jews said, "See how he loved him." In the Gospel of Luke, chapter 19, verses 41st to 42nd, we read that as he approached Jerusalem and saw the city, Jesus wept over it and said, "If you, even you, had only known on this day what would bring you peace, but now it is hidden from your eyes." To the Hebrews chapter 5 verse 7, it says that in the days of his flesh, Jesus offered up prayers and supplications with loud cries and tears to him who was able to save him from death, and he was heard because of his reverence. Jesus' weeping reveals to us how deeply Jesus' heart is moved by the plight of people who choose to reject him. Jesus' heart was deeply saddened by the failure of the majority to receive him. Tears are a language. Mary's maternity involves suffering and weeping. We see Mary standing at the foot of the cross, weeping over the physical sufferings of her son. Simeon was right. A sword does pierce her heart. She stands by her son, all helpless, to ease his dying pain. Mary endures the worst and yet remains faithful. Tears are a language. Mary's tears move us to invoke her as a mother in our sufferings. Her tears teach us to hold on to our faith in our sufferings and sorrows. She helps us to cry with the hope and faith. There is a story about a child just 4 years of age. He lived next door to an old man who had just lost his wife, to whom he had been married for many years. One day, the child saw the man sitting on his front porch weeping. Without hesitation, the little boy walked over to the older gentleman and gave him a long hug. Afterwards, when his mother asked him what he had said to this old man, the boy replied, "I couldn't say anything. I just helped him cry." That's what Mary does in our lives. She helps us to cry, but always with hope and love. Tears are a language.